don't have to trade pitchers.
Yeah.
You don't have to unless you have a super, super need. Like the Mariners, to me, have to trade one of those pitchers because they have a need to get a bat.
For the people, we're answering questions mostly from our YouTube chat. If you're watching on TV, you can still get involved. Just type in Foul Territory and give our show a little like, a little subscribe, and then you can still watch on TV. Just ask the question here because this is the way to reach us. So Land, that's the account name, says, hey, Scott, where's Profar signing? I think we all said Padres, but the longer it goes, AJ, I actually think it gets a little more interesting.
Who else? I mean, that's another name. We talk about Flaherty. I haven't heard anything about Profar. I think it was just a foregone conclusion he was going to go back there. But, I mean, he's an outfielder. He has some versatility. I just don't see him not going back to the Padres because of the year he had and the comfort level there.
And I would say the longer it goes, the better chance he goes back to San Diego. Rumors are rumors, but I just feel like when there's nothing heard about it and you feel like that was where he was going to go, I think they line up. I think he liked it. Maybe I read it completely wrong. It seemed like he really had a great time when he was there.
Yes, he loves it there. I'll throw a team out that hasn't done much that I think is going to pick up an outfielder. Atlanta Braves. I don't think it would be crazy.
No, it wouldn't be crazy.
No? They're going to sign an outfielder.
Yeah, I would have said.
There aren't a lot of quality outfielders at that level available. If you believe in what he did last year, he was an on-base machine. You're all like stewing, thinking about it.
I'm not saying you're wrong at all.
I'm stewing because I keep going back to Ha-Sung Kim maybe going there.
Where?
Atlanta? Yeah, because Orlando Arcia had a down year.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't really call it necessarily a down year. It was just closer to what he normally does. The year before was ridiculous. He was unconscious, all-star season, did awesome. And he's getting to the last year of that real small extension that they gave him. I feel like Ha-Sung Kim would be able to get a one-year deal. If he's in a prove-it type of contract because of the shoulder. Do you have a shoulder or a neck, Kim?
Shoulder.
Plays really good defense. And it would be easy for him. To me, it would be easy for him to slot into that lineup.
Okay.
Not that Profar wouldn't. I just feel like
Profar's playing outfield. Kim's playing infield.
I'm saying just slotting into the lineup. I don't know if Profar. I don't know. I just think
Profar's a much better bat if you look at what he did last year and believe it.
Completely agree. And I don't know that the Braves are necessarily looking for the greatest bats. And I think shortstop is a bigger position that they need to fill than an outfield spot.
Okay. I disagree. I think outfield over infield for them. I'm saying what I think they'll do. I agree. I think they need an upgraded shortstop. A lot of Braves fans last year thought Adames would be in play, but they're not playing ball like that. Just throwing it out there. Angelo said, where will Bichette end up? Now, AJ, I'm just for the benefit of the doubt going to go with him asking that question a year from now because I don't think the Blue Jays are trading him. Well, they could trade him at the deadline, but what do you think?
They're not trading him right now. They're not trading him right now.
What's the next 12 months look like for Bo Bichette?
A lot of rumors, a lot of him, and then we're sitting here next year going, man, where will Bo Bichette sign? A lot of, I don't know. Oh, it's not going to affect me. Oh, no, I don't think it'll ever bother me. You're going to get traded, Bo. I don't know. I just think it's going to be an interesting 12 months because I don't think they're going to sign him or Vladdy. So the Blue Jays are going to have to make a decision in the offseason which one they go after. And most people think they're going to choose Vladdy over Bo. And if they do that, then we could be sitting here right now and producer lady could do a "Where Will Bo Go" video montage.
He's a Brave in July.
Okay,
there's your shortstop.
Yes, it is. If you waited that long, you'd have to tell me where he's going to go. You'd have to tell me what kind of year he has. If he has another year like he did this past year, he'll sign a one-year deal with the White Sox and play shortstop for the White Sox.
Wow.
I'm serious.
He'll sign. He has to do a prove-it deal if he does what he did last year.
But if he goes out and wins a batting title, makes his third All-Star team, now you're talking completely different. Now you're talking about possibly a Dansby Swanson to type of contract that he's looking at. So you're talking about 1-year deals to the White Sox to 150 plus 200, because we were talking about him being a 200 to $300 million player when all those shortstops were signing. And if Bo keeps on his trajectory, but you can't have a repeat of last year.
I really like Bo Bichette, but you're
So
right.
do I.
mean, last year was by far his worst year at the plate. He had a 71 OPS plus. He did miss a few months of the season with a calf strain, also ended the year with a broken finger and had surgery on that, had a super slow start to the year. There was just a lot of issues for him, right? I think the chase rate was higher, wasn't walking as much, never does, but at the same time, I think he's a great bat. AJ hits the ball to all fields. And if anything, not sure if he's a shortstop long term, but maybe a second baseman, maybe a little bit of both.
It's just the key for him is going to be health. Can he stay healthy this year? Because he's not a huge guy. Bo's not a huge guy. So I think some teams are going to look at him and say, can he stay healthy for the long run? And if he goes out and he stays healthy this year, I mean, I think he's going to be fine as a free agent. I think teams will be clamoring over him. And I think if you would have told him a while ago that he'd be looking at Dansby Swanson contract, I think people would have said no chance. But if he doesn't stay healthy, that would be a good comp for him.
Yeah, that's good money. Dansby got money. High 100.
So we're talking about 1 year. Bo Bichette had 336 at-bats. Other years he was 159 games, led the league in hits 2 years in a row. So guys who lead the league in hits are going to chase.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna, they're not gonna not strike out. I get it. 29 homers, 22 homers, no, 24 homers, 20 homers, and then last year half the at-bats he had 4.
Look at 2021 to 2023. Just look him up. You can do it while you're watching. He was a star.
He was
a star.
2-time All-Star.
Mm-hmm.
3 times he ended up on the top 16 in MVP voting. Like that's
the good stuff.
That's a really, really good shortstop.
Okay, next one. Paul says, do you think Arenado to Boston is still a possibility? I might have sparked some of this discussion because people were asking me where I think Bregman will end up, and I actually was going Detroit still. So then they're like, does Arenado end up in Boston, which is his wish? And you guys say no?
I say no.
I say no.
I say no as well because I think Boston's going to want St. Louis to eat so much of the money, and St. Louis is going to be like, the
I don't
whole
think
point
he's
of us
going
trading
anywhere.
him
I
is to
think
eat
he's going to stay.
I hope you're wrong on that part.
I agree for his sake, But the further we go down here, it's a lot of catch.
I just don't see him playing first base. And I don't think they're going to move Devers to first base or DH him at 28 years old, starting, what does he have? 8 more years on his contract?
A lot of time left. Yeah. AJ, how does this play out with Bregman and Arenado?
I mean, I think there's two really spots that are available for him, and it's those two that we just talked about, Detroit and Boston, and one of them goes one, and the other one's going to want to go to the other one. I just think right now Arenado has the power because he has the no trade, and the Cardinals made it clear they want to get rid of him. Heck, they even let him and his agent try to find a place, and they still haven't been able to find a place. So for that money, apparently nobody really wants Nolan Arenado because they know they have the Cardinals kind of by the short hairs because the Cardinals can't do anything without Nolan saying okay. And if he has to get it, whatever he has to get done to go to someplace, the Cardinals are in a bad spot with this one. I mean, I don't know. That's why teams don't like no trades and they don't like 10-5.
Mm-hmm.
I hope we find out who made the connection because they had it to Houston, and Nolan said, "Not right now." He didn't say no chance. He said,
and then
"Not right now."
Houston took the initiative.
Then Houston was like, "All right, beat it. I'll find a different date."
They did exactly what I would do if I owned a team. You don't want us. We win all the time. You'll make a little more money on taxes. You want to tell us to wait? Cool. We've got other options. We're moving on.
Should have waited.
Clearly, they weren't his first choice, and that's okay. That's his right. But if they were not his first choice, they don't want to wait for him, and they didn't. Mr. Garden on the chat said, Mariners an option for Arenado?
No.
I don't think so.
No chance.
No chance? Yeah.
No
and also, I don't think Nolan even necessarily waives the no trade to go there. So I think the Mariners don't get him, and I think he says no anyway. Right, AJ?
He wants to go somewhere
Double
where he
whammy?
can hit. He wants to go somewhere where he can put up big numbers. He's not going to go to – I mean, all you hear about all the time is, no one can hit. No one can hit. No one can hit there. Well, he's not going to take the chance that he's the one guy that can go and hit there.
and he talk about not hitting. Like something is going on with the hitting there, whether it was the coaching or the batter's eye or whatever it is. I've seen other guys go from Colorado over to organizations. I said this before, that they were getting zero information. And from what I heard, the Cardinals are getting zero information for making a hitting plan, like we talked about earlier in the show. And then certain guys that he played with went other places and were like, holy cow, we get so much more. This is so much easier to hit. And they had a ton of success. To me, that's where he wants to go. It's a place that has that. And I don't think the Mariners have that.
Okay, so he clearly feels Boston is that place. Lastly, Todd Father,
Talk to me.
are we good with the Yankees' second, third base situation right now? Because that's actually a fit. And I know they don't want to keep getting these guys that are like on the tail end, but he still was a league average bat last year. He's been really good before that too. If you believe in a bounce back, Arenado, if you believe in a bounce back like they are in Goldschmidt, I know they're getting older, but they do want to improve defensively. That would improve their third base D a ton, and it would move Jazz to second, which I'm much more comfortable with.
I like him at second base too.
But what's wrong with that mix? Because it's too old. I feel like they keep feeling like they're picking up players that are aging, and they don't want to do that.
Yeah, I think it's a great fit. I can see the Yankees coming through there. I mean, they're a team that, not necessarily is worried about the money, but, we'll go after a guy like that. It's what is St. Louis going to get in return? You know what I mean? So
they just want money relief. I don't think they care much about anything else. Yeah,
pretty. Maybe a draft pick, maybe.
Yeah, like a low end prospect, right? I don't know if they have a comp pick, but
or Arenado would be a perfect fit there for sure.
But Arenado costs way less than Bregman would. Kratz is shaking his head at us.
I don't think they're going to do it, because if they clear the money with Stroman, I think they're pumping that into more bullpen pieces.
Okay.
I don't think they're.
And I don't think you're wrong either.
I think they're still going to get something in their infield, but in that story, which we talked to Will Salmon about earlier, he said it would be a cheaper infield piece. And Arenado is not going to be a cheap infield piece.
And last thing, I know we got to wrap, but for Stroman, are they just trying to get rid of him pretty much? What do you think at the end of the day?
Yes, money don't.
I think if they can,
for like anything really.
Yeah, they just need a team to eat most of the money, because in Will Salmon's article, he writes about how it's not just this coming season, but next. So you're really on the hook for like 2 years, 36 plus. And there are many comps on the market right now that are still up for grabs and probably are going to get less than that. It makes it a tough sell. Yeah. So the comp they used in that story was Martin Perez, who just got 1 year, $5 million.
Yeah.
And even if you think that's too light of a comp, if you start looking at the Lance Lynns of the world, who else am I missing right now? AJ, there's a few others that are on the market that are in a similar realm.
Kyle Gibson still out there.
Andrew Heaney, Jose Quintana, right? Aren't those guys all in the same Stroman world, AJ?
I mean, I think you get some of them cheaper than you have Marcus Stroman, but I also might not think they're as quality as Marcus Stroman when he's good. So I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are left out there that, are just waiting. Is it Sasaki that's holding him up? Are they holding out for something that's not there? You start talking about some of those guys like Quintana, Lance Lynn, those guys. Are they going to have to go on a minor league deal with an insane incentive-laden contract? I don't know. I mean, I hope they all sign. I hope they all get money. But what's holding up the market? It's getting late now.
None of those guys, I think, are going to get $18 million a year over 2 years, and that's what makes it so hard to trade Marcus Stroman.
But I think if you put all of them on a list, Marcus Stroman is
number one.
But because I think he can give you.
Quintana?
I was going to say Quintana.
I like Quintana.
10 to 15 starts that are much more elite than what those guys can give you.
Quintana over
right
Stroman
now,
for
though?
me.
Consistent.
Right now?
I do.
Okay.
Quintana over Stroman for me, but regardless, do we think Quintana's getting 2 years, 36? I don't.
No.
He's probably getting 1 year, 15?
We don't have to trade. You don't have to trade pitchers.
Yeah.
You don't have to, unless you have a super, super need. Like the Mariners, to me, have to trade one of those pitchers because they have a need to get a bat.
Right. They shouldn't have to, but they have to because of their situation, because they can't spend elsewhere. Don't spend elsewhere. Well, can't means their GM is being told can't.
Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.